Keep going. You're not alone, a voice announces. Christina? Vince utters, dazed. An otherworldly shiver surges through 24-year-old Aero Corporal Vince Garret, and he blinks his eyes, looking in all directions, breathing irregularly into the blue-tinted visor of his helmet. The Armex pilot finds he is not in the Floridian Union, but in his Whisper's cockpit over the Pacific Ocean. Outside that cockpit, not so far away, is a sight that defies comprehension. The ball of light he collided with a second before has split into two smaller glowing spheres that are matching his airspeed and rotating around him at an impossible, perfectly synchronized rate. Vince gulps, trying to get a firm grip on his controls with his trembling hands, and notices his plane's readouts are blinking in and out. Before he has a chance to collect himself, the two spheres reunite into a single UFO that zooms off toward the ocean horizon. No, damn it! Vince grunts out, his Whisper's electronic system still only functioning on a basic level after their interaction with the bright UFO. Don't you run away from me! V4, return to the combat zone. He hears a crackly voice demand through his commune set. The flashing equipment within his Whisper starts to solidify and come back online. I repeat, there is nothing to pursue out there. Return at once to your mission, the strained voice relays again. However, this time Vince can discern that it belongs to his wingman, Aero Lieutenant Anton Seleno. Like hell, Vince spits back. Skydog, don't you dare tell me you didn't see that thing. He grouses via commune link. With that, the wildcard successfully switches over to impulse attack mode and resumes his breakneck pursuit of the luminescent object. Lying on his stomach, his Omega booster gushing cerulean flames, Vince manages to get back into range of his mysterious quarry. Immediately, his readouts warn him that his weapon systems are malfunctioning. I'm not going to shoot you, Vince mutters under his breath at the blue UFO he is chasing. I just want to know what you're after. Why have you appeared before me again, huh? Answer me, he growls. As if in reply, a light appears on the horizon. Vince squints at this new luminescent object and discerns it is a second unidentified orb. Even with his helmet's colored visor, he can tell this entity is of a darker hue, perhaps red or orange. Another one? What is this? As soon as Vince asks this unanswerable question, the darker light disappears from sight. At this point, Zyda's voice enters his commune set, which is crackling again from an unexplained phenomenon akin to electromagnetic interference. V5 reporting, enemies terminated. Hold on. What is that thing? She squawks. Karen's voice quickly follows up Zyda's exclamation of surprise. Commander, there's an unknown off my 3. Repeat, an unknown. It's coming in fast. Suddenly, the blue orb of light in front of Vince shifts its shape, warping into a cube, then a saucer, before finally settling into an egg-like form. As soon as it finishes this dumbfounding series of transmutations, its speed increases dramatically. Vince watches on and realizes the blue ellipsoid is now chasing its red doppelganger, which has reappeared in the skies. But just when Vince thinks he has these aerial bogies straight in his head, he finds nothing could be further from the truth. From out of nowhere, a jet-black fighter in the shape of an exaggerated M appears and zips past him after the pair of orbs. This soundless new craft almost clips Vince's right wing in the process. Regardless, the air current produced by the velocity of this unidentified fighter violently pushes his X-77 Whisper aside. What a bastard! Grumbles Vince, wrestling his rotating fighter back into central balance with a series of timed impulses. All right, and just what in the heck are you supposed to be? He yelps then, straining his Omega booster with a strong impulse to keep up with the jet-black fighter craft. Vince, do not pursue. I say again, do not pursue. Anton pleads into the corporal's commune set, his famously stoic voice completely vanquished. Vince does not want to hear what his higher-ranked teammate is asking of him. Get real. I've got those unknowns that entered the combat zone right in my sights. I can't break off now. Vince, stand down or I'll open fire. Hearing this latest statement from his wingman, Vince flinches in his impulse suit. You'll what? You heard me. I shouldn't need to tell you that I'm serious about this. Moaning in frustration, Vince ignores Anton's outrageous threat and pulls up beside the speeding black fighter craft that had buzzed his right wing just seconds before. Hey, where's the fire, bud? Vince goads the sleek obsidian craft beside him, even as he begins to feel the vibrations from his stressed Omega booster by his feet now. You want to play chicken with this big blue ball, too? Well, I saw it first, so you better back off. The speed we're traveling at, the Whisper, it's the fastest fighter in the Armex fleet, but this black jet and that ball of light somehow move just as fast, an uneasy Vince realizes, trying to keep his Whisper steady next to the silent black UFO. A single shot fired from a psionic Gatling zeroes in on Vince from behind then, nearly taking off his left wing. Anton, for Pete's sake, what's the matter with you? That was your last warning. I have a missile lock on you. With that, Anton, his voice once more in monotone, begins to count down from 5. Don't you dare! Vince now glances back and forth between his scrambled radar readouts and the ink-tinted cockpit canopy of the unknown aircraft at his side. Please, would you all just back off? He shouts, jockeying ahead of the black fighter so that Anton loses his missile lock. The strange object of blue light is now in front of his X-77's nose. The Aero Division corporal is trying to piece together his next move when the blue object unexpectedly increases its speed far beyond the capabilities of Vince's machine. This is BS! I can't keep up? The wild card is able to keep the UFO in view just long enough to see the darker orb clash with its lighter counterpart. As this comes to pass, the black fighter pulls out in front of the Armex corporal. Huh? And where do you think you're going? Vince shouts, unwilling to lose another of the UFOs. Within that same instant, 2 vents open on the black craft's angular wings, releasing nearly transparent threads of light ahead of it. Less than a second later, it is gone. Catapulted by the threads of light, it now races at a magnified speed at least twice that of an X-77 in IA mode. The pure force of the black jet's abrupt and mysterious boost tosses Vince's whisper fighter aside once more. The wildcard's stomach and head are put through Olympic somersaults before he at long last regains control of his fighter jet just inches from the choppy waters below. Unsurprisingly, the dizzy Vince finds that he has lost visual contact with all 3 UFOs. Victory 4 discovers he has a more pressing problem, though. Anton has reacquired his missile lock and, completing his countdown via commune link, he looses a single mini-Mach projectile on his wayward wingman. Ah, shit, mutters Wildcard. Anton, what the hell? Are you freaking kidding me? The corporal shoves his fighter into a rapid arc to escape the missile. Unfortunately, in his rabid attempts to keep up with the UFOs, he has taxed his nerves too much to outdo the advanced guidance system of the high-tech projectile hot on his tail. Shit. Vince rattles off his tongue. He is about to initiate one last desperate evasive maneuver, but radiant tracers of psionic energy fly in and detonate the explosive object hounding him. The shots came from Karen's whisper, which is accompanied by Zaida's. However, it is Zevlin, diving down like an eagle, who intercepts Anton and disrupts him from continuing his perplexing aerial witch hunt. V3. Lieutenant Soleno, stop this at once, barks the commander of the Victory Squadron. What is the meaning of this? Corporal Garret went AWOL. He abandoned his team in the middle of a battle. He endangered the welfare of... That'll be all. I'm quite aware of the corporal's insubordination, Lieutenant. However, you crossed the line and exceeded your authority. Garret is one thing, but I never expected this kind of behavior from you. I won't let this slide. You both failed your duties today. But Commander, Vince interjects between breaths, those UFOs. No excuses. It was fortunate we were all able to survive this alien ambush. Others weren't so lucky, he states, referring to the slain SHIELD and Mad Scorpion pilots. V3, V4. I want the both of you to file into formation immediately. We're heading back to Mother 4. We'll settle this matter there. Any objections? He asks in a severe tone that foretells any further insubordination in the man's ranks will be dealt with swiftly and soundly. No, sir, Vince offers weakly while Anton remains mute. Returning to standard mode, the 5 fighters that make up the core team of the Victory Squadron regroup in their signature V formation. As they turn back toward the white Armex dropship sailing the clouds over the Pacific, there is not a member who is not at least somewhat troubled by Anton's behavior, but none more than the V-team's newest and youngest member, Zaida Rosario. She peers in the direction of Anton's winged machine and visualizes his face hidden behind the craft's cold metallic skin. Do you trust me? She remembers his tranquil Mediterranean continents asking her in a hallway on Mother 4. Beneath Zaida's impulse suit, this memory stirs a flood of hopelessly tangled emotions in her gut. I thought we trusted one another. Lieutenant Soleno. Anton. Why?